known for putting the West Coast on the map in the world of hip-hop, with lowriders, cornrows, and dope flows. Stay tuned for more as we share interesting facts that you might not know about Snoop Dogg. The life of Calvin Broadus Jr., known professionally as Snoop Dogg, began on October 20th, 1971 in Long Beach, California. With our next fact, it is all about where Calvin got his nickname. When he was young, Snoop's parents named him Snoopy because of his close resemblance to Snoopy, the beagle in the comic strip Peanuts. That name would then evolve to Snoop Dogg. Taking a look at our next fact, it would be all about faith. When Snoop was very young, he began singing and playing piano at the local Baptist church, and ironically would lead to Snoop producing a gospel album later in life that was very successful. Continuing on with humble beginnings, in music, our next fact is all about making music with friends and family. Snoop, along with his cousins, Nate Dogg, and friend Warren G, recorded homemade tapes as a group called 213, named after the Long Beach area code at the time. Taking a look at our next fact, an R&B legendary group would help Snoop get discovered. That is where a freestyle from Snoop Dogg, laid to Hold On from R&B divas In Vogue, caught the attention of Dr. Dre, who would later sign him to a record deal, and the two would go on to be West Coast legends. With our next fact, it is impossible to think about Snoop Dogg without mentioning the love of his life. That is where Snoop Dogg married his high school sweetheart, Shantae Taylor, on June 12, 1997. Although Snoop Dogg is legendary for his contributions to the world of music, our next fact is all about film. That is where Snoop Dogg has been in multiple movies, including Training Day with Denzel Washington, Soul Plane with Kevin Hart, Baby Boy with Tyrese, and much more. Breaking down this next fact with a career that has been successful like Snoop Dogg's, of course it comes with awards. Snoop has won awards at the Grammys, MTV Awards, Billboard Hip Hop Awards, the BET Awards, and more. Now, with moving on to our next fact, when you think of an icon like Andre the Giant, The Rock, The Undertaker, and many more, you think about wrestling. But Snoop Dogg has something in common with those legends. In 2016, Snoop was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as a member of the Hall's Celebrity Wing. With our 10th and final fact, it's all about the Super Bowl. In 2022, Snoop Dogg, along with Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar, were asked to take the stage during the halftime show at the Super Bowl. So as you can see, there is more than meets the eye when talking about the life of West Coast hip-hop legend Snoop Dogg. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me, sharing interesting facts that you might not know in this biography. For more interesting facts just like this, please take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we share fun facts from history and more each week on Fresberg Cartoon.